But I think finding tools and technologies to be able to give folks on the front end more experience, but on the back end, more ways to share knowledge and input to try to help preserve some of their knowledge and some of that experience that they had gained. Searchable video interviews. I mean, all the way back to what we were talking about with
Absolutely.
YouTube, right? That if you're going to have somebody do an exit interview of all the lessons and things that they learned, get them on camera for 3 hours and you've got a 3-hour YouTube video that nobody will watch, but an AI will scrape it. And
100%.
then it's searchable and it can be fed into there. And then, do you need that person back half-time? No, maybe now you need them in 1 day a week to give some advice, and you can create a work arrangement that's maybe better for folks where you supplement some of them with AI and some with that personal interaction.
I think this idea that retaining employees is a knowledge management strategy, I think gets lost on a lot of people because I think a lot of times technology comes to the forefront, but really just still having access, like you said, on maybe even a reduced schedule and shifting their burden to building the I mean, you know, I think for firms to really take advantage of AI, they're going to need a really solid knowledge foundation in a way. And by that, I mean digital knowledge foundation that they haven't had before. But it feels to me like those emerging professionals, what we would call them, are well positioned to interview those experts, develop the knowledge. Maybe they do watch the 3-hour video and try and make a tool out of it. Maybe the 3-hour video is a lot of stories. And it's like, cool. Like now we need to build standards and processes and things like that out of those stories.
Yeah. And again, I think it also helps solve for this problem of people are too busy to document and build the digital knowledge base.
Right.
Well, if you've got the middle, that is your active producers and the ones who are driving performance, you've got new folks and maybe more senior folks who could be focused on building that base underneath. And I think, you know, what's interesting is when you see organizations that have stood the test of time, I think you see some of those same kinds of practices in place. I mean, if you look at academia as the quintessential knowledge industry, right? You know, from thousands and thousands of years ago, and we have doctoral training, we have postdoctoral fellows, like they're not doing the sort of primary work of teach the classes, get the grants, publish the papers. We also have emeritus professors who stick around and just kind of hang out and are available. And
you have TAs,
do these,
right? Also,
the TAs, exactly. When you look at, you know, I would argue the military is another one where they've invested quite a bit in some of these structures and practices. And the idea that you're a retired general, that's still a career path in the way that like, oh, I'm a retired CFO. Like that isn't really a thing that people continue carrying around as their job title the way that a retired admiral or a retired general would. And I think it's a recognition that there is this life cycle of knowledge, and there might be some ways to plug into it at other stages. And again, back to that, not missing the forest for the trees of getting rid of junior staff because we have AI to perform their sort of nominal functions now. I think recognizing that, we're going to spend a bunch of money developing somebody on the front end, and there is not much return to us for doing that in the short run. They are not producing right now, and yet we are going to grow them into somebody who would be important to our organization. It's just a tougher and tougher sell in a competitive landscape these days, but I don't think it's any less true than it was ever before. And if anything, is probably more true now with AI accelerating all these things.